This is Major Tom 2 Ground Control. I'm stepping out the door with some Wildstar knowledge. Today we're going to discuss those who are equal parts nerd and badass, the engineers. Gun-toting engineers sound like a nerd fantasy, but let me tell you, in Wildstar they are very much real. Now, engineers like their weapons like they like their music. Loud, explosive, and made out of metal. None of this concealable, sneaky stuff. Engineers take massive launchers into combat. A weapon which is capable of firing, and I quote, rocket-propelled attitude adjustment directly into a foe's dumbstruck mouth. They are very large weapons capable of firing explosive rounds. They are pretty awesome. Also in the engineer's kit are bots. Nothing soothes the soul more than circuit boards slathered in motor oil. Engineers love building murderous little buddies to help them out on the field of battle. They are capable of fielding two such friends at once, so they can have one sitting in the back and repairing their bruises, while the other performs a hostile oil change on the enemy. And by oil, I mean blood and vital organs. In addition to wearing super heavy armor, engineers like to strut around in the ultimately powerful exosuit to become super grease monkeys. Not to mention, they're also incredibly fashionable. Now you can show up to prom as the envy of all your classmates, and if they disagree, your piston-driven fist will convince them otherwise while protecting you from their puny reprisals. Yes, the exosuit is a very powerful innate ability that the engineer has that will be explained a little bit later in the video. Arn and Draken are prevented from taking this class. Presumably, they lack the technical prowess to keep up with such a profession. Arns are too interested in twigs and leaves to handle servos and gears, while Draken lack the patience for anything that does not involve removing muscle from bone. They probably also don't like the idea of bots stealing their limelight. Engineers are best suited to range DPS and tanking, which sounds a little bit weird for a ranged class, but everything in Wildstar is built to fulfill at least two different roles in the game, and the engineers are no exception. With their heavy armor, they are quite good at tanking, and with their launchers, they are quite good at range DPS. The unique class resource for the engineer is volatility, which is an abstract way of measuring the unstable energy contained within the engineer's launcher. Certain abilities build volatility while others expend it. It is also important to note that the engineer's innate exosuit ability passively generates volatility at 10 volatility per second. It's actually pretty effective. For the range DPS role, you're going to want to take equipment that gives you finesse, moxie, and brutality. For assault power, critical chance rating, critical severity rating, and strike-through rating. These are all very important stats for anybody who does DPS. You want to make sure that you're getting as many crits as possible, as well as dealing intense amount of damage. DPS engineers have a lot of mid and long-ranged nukes, as well as bots that deal damage and take aggro for them. They blast apart foes with their launcher and introduce them piecemeal to the four corners of the battlefield. An arm over there, a liver over here. DPS engineers are best kitted out with the Eradication exosuit, which grants them all sorts of increased damage, but reduces their ability to be healed. Engineers wearing the Eradication exosuit also deal a dot on opponents when they hit them, dealing damage over time passively, which is pretty awesome. Conversely, engineers can indeed go tank. If you want to go tank with the engineer, you're going to want technology for the support power, insight for deflect critical hit rating and deflect rating, and grit. Tank engineers are heavy in your face fighters, using much more close-ranged utility abilities to take the heat off their allies, while still delivering a potent punch. They have access to healing bots and bots that can lock enemies down to prevent allies from being overrun. They also keep powerful interrupts to stop foes' more potent attacks, and carry immense threat generation abilities. Those who want to go for the tanking role are going to want to take the Provoke exosuit for increased damage mitigation so that they can survive on the front lines for even longer. And that about wraps it up for the engineers. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you feel like I missed anything important, please let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to learn more about the engineer class, or just more about Wildstar, I highly recommend you check out the Wildstar wiki by clicking the link in the description, or by going to wildstar.gamepedia.com. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to show us your support, and I'll see you all next time.